Okay. So, since others were not present for last week's class, මට paper time allocation එක චුට්ටක් go through කරන්න ඕනේ, just real fast, because I think Lisaja and Sahiru both were not there last week. Where is it? Yeah, here. This is a time allocation for the maths paper. In maths paper, you know, there is paper 1 and there is paper 2. Okay. Paper 1 again, there is part A, part B, and in paper 2 also there's part A and part B. All right. So, if you have already had a look at the paper before, in paper 1, you get 2 hours to do paper 1, right? Paper 1, okay, there's part A. In part A, there are 25 short questions. Okay. So, එතන මේ 2 hours වලින් 1 hour ඔයා spend කරන්නේ part A එක කරලා. That means the 25 short questions. So, generally 1 hour is the time allocation for that. Then part B එකේ තියෙනවා 5 questions where you have to write the answer on the paper itself. Paper එකේම තමයි උත්තරේ ලියන්න තියෙන්නේ. එහෙම questions පහක් තියෙනවා part B එකේ. So, එතන මෙතන 1 hour part A එකට යනවා, 1 hour part B එකට යනවා. So part B, 1 hour means that is 60 minutes, right? And we have to do 5 questions now. There are 65 will divide gram. Ek question approximately divide. So we get 12 minutes. Okay, that is the paper 1, part A and part B. Paper 2, all together, you get a time allocation of 3 hours. 3 hours can 180 minutes. In paper 2 also, you have part A and you have part B. Okay. So part A wala, there are 6 questions. All essay. So part A wala, there are 6 essay questions. Out of the 6, you have to do 5 questions. Right? Out of the 6, you have to do 5. In part B also, there are 6 essay questions. Out of the 6, you have to do 5. So this 180 minutes is equally divided. මෙයාට 90 minutes යනවා part A එකට, part B එකට 90 minutes යනවා. So there are 5 questions now. So 95 will divide කරාම එක question එකට 18 minutes යනවා in part A, part B both. Okay. So that is the time allocation for the paper. But this is something that I have repeated so many times in classes. අපි හිතනවට වඩා වැඩිපුර time යනවා exam එකේ. අපි ගෙදර practice කරද්දී we are in our comfort zone, right? So we are at home or we are at class. So our exam mindset එක නැහැ, right? And also the exam atmosphere, that environment is not there. But when you step into that exam setup or the exam, that atmosphere, you tend to get nervous a little and maybe a bit like stressed out. එතකොට අපි හිතනවා වැඩිපුර time එක යනවා. stress එකේ ඉන්නකොට සමහර එක question එකක් එකපාර read කරද්දී ඔලුවට යන්නේ නැහැ. So you might have to read it twice or thrice. ඒ වගේ දේවල්වලට පොඩි time යනවා. එතකොට අපි මේ times එකට practice කරොත් මීට වඩා time එක exam එකේ යනවා. එතකොට තමයි අපිට time ප්‍රශ්නයක් එන්නේ. maths paper එකට ලොකු time issue එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකින් අපි practice කරන්නේ අඩු time එකකට. අඩු time එකකට practice කරාම exam එකේ අපිට මේ time එකට ගන්නට adjust වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Or even මීට වඩා ඒ කියන්නේ මේ time එකට blue වලින් තියෙන exam allocation time එක. ඒතර ඊට වඩා අඩුවෙන් time එකෙන් අපිට කරන්නත් පුළුවන් වෙනවා. Right? Time එකත් එක්ක කරන් තමයි practice කරන්න ඕනේ. So part A, the 25 questions, I told you 1 hour tamai hari time allocation එක. But we have to practice to do all the 25 questions in part A within 45 to 50 minutes. මුල කාලේ 50 minutes කමක් නැහැ, ටිකක් කල් යනකොට 45 minutes වලට එක අඩු කරගන්න ඕනේ. Then part B, the 5 questions where you write the answer on the paper itself, we know the time allocation is for one question it's 12 minutes. But අපි practice කරන්නේ one question එක within like 8 to 9 minutes. මුලදී නිකන් 9-10 minutes වලින් පටන් අරගෙන චුට්ට යනකොට you have to reduce that time to like 8 minutes. Then part A, part B, there are essay questions. So 6. We have to do only 5 and 5. That means altogether we are doing 10 questions in paper 2, right? And we know one question gets 18 minutes. But when we are practicing, we have to practice for like 13 to 15 minutes. So mulakala, like we can start with doing like 15 minutes, and then we can reduce that time to like 14:30. This is a general time allocation. I think මේ class එකේ recording එකයි whiteboard note එකයි දෙකම උගන්ට හම්බෙන්නේ නැතුව ඇති. But yeah, you can all will be uploaded to the LMS, so you can access the LMS and download that this particular whiteboard note and also that week's recording. Okay. All right. So I think Metna was there. So I think she was anyways okay with that. This was mainly for Sahiro and Lisaja. And as I said, 2020, we did the first question, second question, fourth question. We are skipping the third question for now. We are skipping the fifth question also for now. And we are coming to paper 2. Okay. We are starting with the first question. අද මම දෙන්න ඔයගලන්ට homework කරන්න ඕනේ questions. අපි දැන් ගිය සතියේත් අපි class එකේ තමයි කරේ. Today also the questions we will have to be doing the questions during the class itself. But in the future, as I may have previously mentioned, I will give the question numbers as homework. ඒතර ඔයගලන් ගෙදරදී තමයි time එකක් දාලා time එකත් එක්ක කරන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න ඕනේ. In the class, we will only keep it for discussion, and randomly I will give you questions to do. But otherwise, in the class, we'll only do the discussion in the future. Okay, so go to paper 2, 2020 paper 2. Paper 2, why did the question not come to the board? What I want you all to do is the first question. I can't put the question to the board yet. But did you all find the question? Give me a thumbs up if you found. Or Amal takes a loan of 50,000 rupees. Lisajo Sahiru? Did you all find the question? Do you all have the past papers? Lisajo? Okay. One more thing, I would prefer you to do the past paper revision in a CR. I don't know if you have already been using CR books. If you have, then good. Better if you could use like a separate book for the past paper revision. එක පොඩා වෙනම neatly තියාගන්න එක හොඳයි. මොකද exam එක කිට්ටු වෙද්දි වගේ ටක් ගාලා අර ඒක go through කරාම ලේසි. So something that I also have done this for my O levels and A levels, and so many students in the previous batches have tried this, and it had worked for them quite well. ඒකත් අපි අර කරපු දෙයක් තමයි in science and maths both අපි past paper revision එක වෙනම පොතක කරන්නේ, and I give you instructions මේක මේ කාලයකින් ඒතර කියන්නේ අර පොත දෙකට බෙදලා එහෙම කරන්න කියලා කියනවා. So එතකොට සාමාන්‍ය හිතනකො tomorrow you have the maths paper කියලා, maybe term test, maybe O levels. ඊට කලින් දවසේ වගේ අර මේ past paper revision book එක skim read කියන්නේ උඩින් බලාගෙන යනවා. ඒතර වැරදිව red වලින් mark කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර හොඳට ටක් ගාලා පේනවා. මේක වැරදිලා තියෙනවා. මොකද්ද මෙතන වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? මම මේ පොඩි careless mistake එකක් කරලා. එහෙනම් මේක මේ වගේ mistakes ආවොත් ආයෙ කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ. අර ඒ වගේ idea එකක් යනවා. මේක මට වැරදිලා තියන්නේ ඇයි? I'm a little weak in this area. So චුට්ටක් මේක බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේ අර කලින් දවසේ ටට්ටක් ගාලා scan කරන්න ලේසි when you have a separate book. Right? Otherwise theory ඔක්කොම එක පොතේ තියෙනකොට it's a little difficult. Okay? All right. So the question is on the whiteboard. This is paper 2 part A question, right? So usually we allocate like 13 to 15 minutes. Mama, අපි නිකන් මම 13 minutes allocate කරන්න ඔයගලන්ට ඒ වෙලාව මදි, because we can go until 15 minutes, right? So ඔයගලන්ට වෙලාව මදි වුණොත් මම extra 2 minutes දෙන්නම්. Let's try to do this within 13 minutes. But don't worry, if you need more, I'll give you 2 more minutes. Okay, your time starts now. Quickly start. I put the timer on the board. Huh? Quickly do. ළමයි, did you all finish? Do you all need that extra 2 minutes or have you all finished? Okay, everybody has finished? Good. So that means you can manage within 13 minutes. Okay, let's do the correction. Let's do the discussion. First of all, how was this question? Was it easy or difficult? What do you think? Okay. Researcher Sahir, what do you think? Samane amaru වගේද ලේසි වගේ නැත්නම් mid? ඔයාලා කියන්නේ shape කියලානේ. Shape or easy or difficult? That face means shape. Researcher, what do you think? Okay. We have to talk about like loans and compound interest and can manage. Okay. Okay, let's start the discussion. Amal takes a loan of 50,000 rupees from a bank for 2 years at an annual simple interest of 12%, right? Find the total amount that he has to pay for the 2 years. So this is quite easy to find because there are simple interest there, right? So Roman number 1, they are asking the interest only, right? So interest for the 2 years. So the loan amount he had taken is 50,000 rupees, right? Interest rate is 12%. And for how many years? For 2 years. Then make a multiply gram, you get the interest for 1 year, right? So if I want to find the interest for 2 years, ekko මේක answer කරන් ඒක 2 වලින් multiply කරන්න පුළුවන්. But එක step එකෙන්ම ගන්න පුළුවන් කෙලිම මෙයාව 2 වලින් multiply කරන්න. This is annual simple interest, right? Okay. So 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0 cancel. 5 times 2 is 10, right? Then we get 12. 5 times 2, 5 times 2, 10. So we get 12,000, right? Is this clear, Lamai? Did you all get this answer? Okay. Mama question එක හැම එකෙම මම මේ question එක discuss කරලා I will tell you, no, how marks are given because then මගේ scheme එක open කරන්න ඕනේ මම හොයන්න ඕනේ. Okay. Roman number 2. Amal deposits the loan amount he obtained in a fixed deposit account that pays annual interest of 15% compounded annually. That means now we are coming to compound interest for 2 years. අරයාගේ loan එක ගන්නවා අවුරුදු දෙකකට simple interest වලින් ඒ ටිකේ අනිත් පැත්තට දානවා fixed deposit එක compound interest වලට again for 2 years. Find the amount in this account at the beginning of the second year. At the beginning of the second year කියලා කියන්නේ first year එකේ ආපු interest එක විතරයි add වෙන්නේ. Right? Is that clear to you? When we say at the beginning of the second year, තාම second year interest එක add වෙලා නැහැ. Only the first year interest has been added, right? So amount at the beginning of second year කියන්නේ now අතනින් ගන්න 50,000 යා හැමම fixed deposit එකට දානවා, right? Which is, so the amount that he deposits is 50,000. Compound interest for ඔගාන්ට මතකයිද? Now the compound interest rate is 15%. එතකොට කෙලින්ම total amount එකම හොයන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට 100 add කරලා then we get 115%. So when I multiply this by 115%, that means divided by 100, මට කෙලින්ම අර interest එක total එකට add වෙලා at the end of the first year කොච්චර total එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා කෙලින්ම මට එනවා value එක, right? So 0, 0 cancel, 0, 0 cancel. 5 times 5 is 25, 2 remaining. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2, 7. 5 times 1 is 5, zeros dekha. So at the end of the first year, I have 57,500 in my account. ඒ කියන්නේ එක අවුරුද්දක විතරක් interest compound interest එක total එකට add වෙලා, so the total at the end of the first year or at the beginning of the second year is 57,500. Okay, up to that point, is it clear? Namai? Sahiru, Lisaju? Lisaju? Okay. All right. At the end of, okay, let's read Roman number 3. At the end of 2 years, he withdraws the total amount in his fixed deposit account and settles his bank loan by paying the loan amount and interest. Show that he now has more than 4,000 rupees remaining in his hand. Then at the end of the 2 years, එයා fixed deposit එකේ තියෙන සල්ලි ටික ඔක්කොම ගන්නවා. දැන් මේ තියෙන්නේ at the beginning of second year කොච්චර සල්ලි තියනවද කියලා. So we have to find, then at the end of the second year means in the fixed deposit, the second year compound interest has also been added, right? So we have to see what is the amount at the end of second year. එකන තව එක අවුරුද්දක compound interest එක add වෙලා. So at the beginning of second year, the amount was 57,500. So at the end of the second year, how much we have the total? අපි ආයමත් මෙයාව 115% ගෙන් multiply කරනවා. 115% means 115 over 100, right? So this 0 cancels off, this 0. So we have to do the multiplication. 575 multiplied by 150. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7, 35. 36, 37. 3 remaining. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 3 is 28. 1 times 575 is 575. Again, 1 times 575 is 575. So 5, 7 plus 5 is 12. 8, 9, within 12, 13. 13 plus 8 is 21. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 6. So we get 66,125. So in the fixed deposit, at the end of the second year, the total amount remaining is 66,125. Now he's withdrawing this total amount. Yeah, at the end of the second year, the total amount of withdraw karna, right? Withdraw kala, what he's doing is he's going to settle the loan. Loan ne kya agata simple interest wala, right? So amount he has to pay to settle the loan. Let's see. Loan එක ආගත්තේ 50,000 loan එකක්, right? So loan එකත් ගෙවන්න එපේ. So 50,000 he has to pay. In addition to that, what is the total interest that he has to pay? Interest for the 2 years අපි already calculate කරා. In the loan, it's simple interest. Interest for the 2 years is 12,000. So 50,000 වලට මම 12,000 add කරාම I get 62,000 rupees. So in the fixed deposit, there was a total of 66,125. The amount he has to pay to settle the loan is 62,000, right? So what the question says is that show that he now has more than 4,000 rupees remaining in his hand. So amount remaining, we'll calculate and see. He gets 66,125 from the fixed deposit. He pays the loan for 62,000. The amount remaining is 4,125. බලන්න ළමයි answer එකේ කියනවා show that he has more than 4,000 rupees. So ඔයා එක්ක profit generally මේ වගේ එකක we don't use the term profit. Why we are not using the term profit is generally used for like you know when there is buying and selling involved only we use profit, right? එක එක ඒවල එක එක වචන දෙනවා. දැන් අපි හිතමු buying and selling. ඒ කියන්නේ buying and selling කියන්නේ let's say මොකද product එකක් හදනවා, you buy the ingredients and then you calculate all the costs and then you sell it. එතකොට selling price එකයි cost එකෙන් අඩු selling price එකෙන් cost එක අඩු කරාම you get the profit. Then in the share market we will be learning share market එකේ තියෙනවා buying and selling, but there we don't call it profit. If you buy for a less amount and you sell for a higher amount, you get something like a profit, but we don't call it profit, we call it capital gain. So ඒ වගේ එක එක terms මෙතනදී we don't really call it a profit. It's more like he saved 4,125 rupees. Okay. So ඒගොල්ලන් කියනවා show that he has saved more than 4,000. So මෙතන පොඩි sentence එකක් හරි මොකක් හරි එකට දාන්න ඕනේ. Right? So you can say therefore Amal has saved more than saved Hari. Amal has more than 4,000 rupees in hand. I think that was the question, right? Or නැත්තම් ඔයාලා මෙතන කෙලින්ම 4,125 greater than 4,000 කියලා දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. මේ විදිහේ දෙකම දැම්මත් කමක් නැහැ. All right? Yeah. Okay, so is this question clear to you, Lama? Give me a thumbs up if it's clear. Is it clear to you? Researcher? All right. Now I will tell you how marks are allocated. Interest to be paid for the 2 years. මේ first Roman number එකක් මුලින් බලමු. මේකේ 50,000 multiplied by 12 over 100 කියන step එකට 1 mark. ඊළඟට ඒකයි 2 ගේ multiply කරනවට 1 mark. Because we want the interest for 2 years now. මේ දෙක multiply කරනවට 1 mark. ඒක 2 ගේ multiply කරනවට another mark. For getting the final answer as 12,001 mark. Then for the Roman number 2, for this multiplication, 1 mark. For getting the answer as 57,500, 1 mark. Okay. Roman number 3, again for this particular calculation, 1 mark. For getting 66,125, 1 mark. And මේ දෙක add කරලා 62,000 කියලා ගන්නවට ඒ මුළු එකටම 1 mark දීලා තියෙනවා. And for subtracting this from this and finding 4,125 1 mark, and at the end you have to write this statement or show, right? Because they ask you to show that he has more than 4,000. For that 1 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now tell me how many marks you got out of 10. Okay, Metna, Sahiru, and Lisaja. Okay, Sahiru, Lisaja. Okay. So ideally, දැන් අපි මුල කාලේ කරන හින්දා ලකුණු පොඩක් අඩු වැඩි වුණාට කමක් නැහැ because ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම දන්නවා නම් හොඳටම දන්නවා නම් අපි pass preparation එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැනේ. So it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to learn, make mistakes and learn, I mean. And then in the discussion we discuss all these points. So that's the whole point of this revision, right? But ideally then අපි 2020 නේ papers 3-4ක් කරන් යනකොට ඔයගලම් මේක familiar වෙනවා. Then you get better at this because we are doing similar type of questions more and more. එතකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ideally what should happen is that මේ වගේ essay question එකකට if you score like 8 or more than 8, that means you are in the safe zone. It can සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 is anyways good, no? So 8 or more than 8 now, Samaning, that is what the ideal mark should look like. Okay? So එතකොට අපි ඒක තමයි target එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. 10 out of 10 ගන්න target කරන්න. But know that when we are doing the past paper revision, you will realize summoning 8 or 8 above, that's good. Okay? And if you get below 8, that means what can we understand from that? මට මේකට ටිකක් අඩු වුණා. ඇයි මට අඩු වුනේ? මේක මට පොඩි weak area එකක්. මේක මට weak area එකක් නම් මම මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ? I have to do like revise a bit more and do a bit more questions. Let's say for this particular question you got let's say a little low mark. then 5 out of 10 වගේ ආව කියලා. එතකොට උගා මොකද කරන්නේ? මේකේ කියන්නේ උගන්ට එච්චර හරියට වැටිලා නැහැ, lesson එකට වැටලා නැහැ. හරි ඒක practice වෙලා නැහැ. හරි මොකක් හරි. Then what you do is you go to that lesson, you try to do a bit of a revision and you do some questions from the textbook itself. The textbook, there are plenty of questions. මොකද අපි lessons කරද්දිවත් ඔක්කොම questions එක අපි කරන්නේ නැහැනේ. So there are plenty which you can try. And if you want me to check any question, you can let me know. That's the whole point. We discuss the questions, you understand your strong areas, and you also understand your weak areas. Okay. All right, let's jump to, we are going to skip the second question, but first question I kara mark karaganna. And did we do logarithms? Okay. All right, let's go to the fourth question. Fourth question is about like quadratic equations and quadratic kutna hai logarithms tamai. Not sure whether quadratic is there, just check. I didn't read the question yet. This is the fourth question. Again, let's do that 13-minute time duration. If you need more time, I'll give you extra 2 minutes. So I'll set the timer for 13 minutes. Okay, your time starts now. Quickly. So you just මම පොඩි ටිප් එකක් දෙන්නම් කැල්කියුලේෂන් කරද්දී හොඳට ඩබල් චෙක් කරන්න මේක සිම්ප්ලිෆිකේෂන් ගොඩක් මේවයි වරදිලා ලකුණු නැති වෙනවා ළමයින්ට and there's no quadratic equation no just apply logarithms right if there are you have to use logarithms no apply it right do the simplifications and double check no? Lamai, did you all do? Or do you all need that extra 2 minutes? Or have you all finished? Okay, others? Okay, so everybody, you have finished, no? Good. So I think 13 minutes is manageable for you. Good. Okay. A solid right circular cylindrical metal block. Right circular cylinder. Okay. So මේ වගේ question එකක් අහම එකපාරට ඒක ඔලුවට යන්නේ නැත්නම් try to like illustrate it. Make it visual. Just quick sketch එකක් දාගන්න. So we have a right circular cylinder. Basically that means it's a cylinder, right? Cylinder එකක් තියෙනවා. Base radius 8 centimeters. So base radius is 8 centimeters and height is 10 centimeters. It's melted and 12 identical small solid right circular cones are made. Make a melt karala. Cones kiya hadanawada? 12. 12 of these cones are made. The height of a cone is 6 centimeters. So this height is 6 centimeters. In making these, a volume of this much of metal is wasted. Adadi mecharak waste vela. Take 3.14 as the value of pi. Calculate the volume of the cylindrical metal block. Okay, so this is not that difficult. What is the formula for finding the volume of a cylinder? Yes. Ek pore kiya na main, give me a second, let me plug my laptop to the charger. Okay, yes. What is the formula for finding the volume of a cylinder? Okay, others? Others? Pi. Yes. So, එක circular faces දෙකක් තියෙනවනේ cylinder එකක. එක circular face එකක area ගත්තොත් that's pi r squared, right? That you multiply by the height of the cylinder, so it's pi r squared h. So pi, they're asking to take it as 3.14. Radius, they have given as 8 centimeters. So we have to take the squared, that is 8 squared, multiplied by height is 10. So 3.14, 8 times 8 is 64, multiplied by 10. So there's a bit of a calculation here. Did you all do this calculation? Can you all tell me the value? Otherwise, make a look. I mean, it's multiplication, right? I don't have to spend time, no? 2009.6. What did others get? What did others get? It is 2009.6, right? What you can do here is normal විදිහට make a calculation එක කරන්න පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් මේකත් උන logarithms වලට convert කරලා calculation එක කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. At whatever way you prefer. You can just do the regular multiplication as well. Yes, it is 2009.6. Since it's just multiplication, I'm not doing. But if you want clarity on that, let me know and I will do the calculation on the board. Okay. Find the volume of a cone that is made and show that the base radius r of a cone is given by blah blah blah. Okay. දැන් මෙතන මේ සිලින්ඩර් එක මෙල්ට් කරලා cones 12ක් හදද්දී they said waste එකකුත් ගියානේ. Waste was, they said 125.6. 125.6 cubic centimeters. When you add the waste volume and the 12 corn volume, you should be getting the cylinder volume. Because when you melt the cylinder, you got 12 corns plus a waste of 125.6. May then add karahama තමයි මේකෙන්. Okay. Keeping that in mind, මෙතන එකපාරට මෙහෙම එකක් පෙන්වන්න කියලා තියෙනවා, but we don't have much of an idea how to get to this. How to get this. But අපි දන්න දේ මුලින් කළෙමු. අපිට figure out කරන්න පුළුවන් එක we'll do it first. So we know 12 corns. So how do we get the area of a corn? Volume of a corn 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Right? So volume of 12 corns එකක් 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Right? And there are 12 such corns. So I will multiply this by 12. විතර එක step එකෙන්ම ගන්න පුළුවන් මට. Right? So 1 over 3 pi is again 3.14 r squared අරක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Sorry, radius, radius they have, yeah. No, they have not. That is what we have to find, sorry. H is what they have given as 6 centimeters. That 10 we have to multiply this by 12. Okay. So here, what we are going to do is, we'll just do the calculation as normal. 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 2, 6, and the rest of it we have to multiply. Okay. So, as I said, when you add volume of 12 corns and the waste, you get the volume of the cylinder. Harida. Then you can do the rest of the simplification. What did you get? R squared එක ඉස්සරහට මොනවද ආවේ? Did you all do the addition? Sorry, multiplication? එහෙම නැත්නම් උගන්ට කෙලින්ම මේකේ 12 corns වල volume එක වෙනම අහලා නැහැ නේද? නැත්නම් මෙතනින් නවත්තලා ඉස්සරහට යන්නත් පුළුවන්. So what did I tell you? Volume of 12 corns Okay, so මෙතන I'm going to keep it just like this. 3.14. පස්සේ අපිට ඕන simplify කරගමු. Because කැපෙනව තිබ්බොත් it's easy for us, that's why. Multiplied by r squared multiplied by 2 multiplied by 12. Waste volume is 125.6, right? Yep. Cubic centimeters. Volume of the cylinder is 2009.6 cubic centimeters. So while keeping this on this side, I will move this to the other side. Then here this 125.6 becomes subtraction. So 6 minus 6 is 0. Then 9 minus 5 is 4. 0 minus 2 bat. 10 minus 2 is 8. Methana 10 with 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. And here 1. So we get 1884, right? Cubic centimeters. I'm going to 0.0 because no point, no. Then here r squared equals 1884 divided by 3.14 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 12. Let's quickly go and see what they're asking us to prove. Something like this. Okay. බලන්න මෙතන යට තියෙනවා 6.28 කියලා. අපිට prove කරන්න තියෙන එකේ. Here we have 3.14 multiplied by 2. 3.14 multiplied by 2 is 6.28, right? එහෙනම් අපිට එතනින් 6.28 ගන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් අපි බලමු මේ 12 අපිට ඕනේ නැහැනේ because here what they asking us to prove is r squared equals උඩ numerator තියෙන 157, denominator is 6.28. Denominator we already get through this 3.14 multiplied by 2. This 12 I have to remove. බලමු 1884 12 ගෙන් divide වෙනවද කියලා. Okay. You can straight away divide by 12. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 1 is 12. එතකොට 18 වල තව 6 ඉතුරු වෙනවා. 68. 12 times 5 is 60. 80 is remaining. 84 can 12 times කීයද? 84 is 12 times 7. Right? Okay, Lama, is it clear? අපිට ඕනේ කාව නේද? Give me a thumbs up if you understood this. Okay, others? Lisa? Okay, so a little tip is that when they ask you to show this, show that, and මෙහෙම දීලා තියෙනකොට ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මුලදීම simplification එක කරන්න එපා. මොකද අන්තිම හරිය කැපිලා යනවා. දැන් මෙතන මුළු simplification එක කරා නම් මේ හටනකොට අපිට ආයෙ මුලින්දන් divide කර ඉන්නවා. It's a little annoying. So මම මෙතන අපි මොකද කරේ simplification එක බාගෙන නවත්තලා we carried on with the rest of the question. Okay? All right. So we proved that. So that's all good. Second Roman number ka hari. Now we have to find the value of r squared using the log table and then obtain the value of r. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the question. Make a product varadana thana. Find the value of r squared using the log table. r squared එක තමයි අපි log වලින් හොයන්න ඕනේ r නෙවෙයි. ඒගොල්ලෝ අපිට කියන්නේ r වල log එකෙන් හොයන්න කියලා නෙවෙයි. r squared එක log එකෙන් හොයලා and then obtain the value of r. Right? So there are two steps in the question. So we'll find the r squared using the log table. So Roman number 3. R squared equals 157 divided by 6.28. I convert this to log. So LG R squared equals LG 157. Division is subtraction. So LG 6.28. මම මේ 2 එක ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්නේ නෑ ළමයි because I just need r squared වල log එක. So I'll just leave r squared to be. ඕගන් පැටලෙනවා නිකන් මෙහෙම bracket එකක් දාලා තියන්න. මම r squared තමයි හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. Right? I keep on saying that because it's important. ඒ වගේ තමයි ළමයි එහෙම steps වලට තමයි ලකුණු දෙන්නේ exam එකේ. Okay. So now log is something you are very familiar with at this point. Can you tell me the log value of 157? Yes. I got one answer. Okay. What about Sahiru and Lisaja? I'm asking because if by any chance you guys are not familiar, I can do a little bit of a revision on this. Listeja, what I'm asking is 157 ke log value එක. Sahiru? Whatever answer you got, it doesn't matter whether it's correct or not. Quickly. Researcher Sahiru? Kara the question එක. I will assume you guys didn't do the question, na? Okay. Let me get the log table. ඔගලන් textbook එකේ අන්තිම තියෙනවා I think it's easier to just get a logbook එකක් එච්චර ගානකුත් නැහැ මේ textbook එක පෙර බලනකොට ලේසියිනේ since I don't have it I'll just use my textbook okay so another thing is that when you're using a log table at the exam they will give you a log table okay so in that particular log table kind of like a small booklet they have the log table, they have the sine, cosine, dekama ekama table එක, and then tangents, tan. That's in trigonometry. Sine, cos, tan කියලා අපි trigonometry වල ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. සමහර වෙලාවට ළමයි වරද්ද ගන්නවා. They get the table confused. Log කියලා sine table එක read කරොත් you are getting a completely different value. Okay? And sometimes it's pretty obvious අර උඩ බැලුවම එහෙම තේරෙනවා. ඒකට අර ඒ exam එකේ කලබලයට ඕක වරද්දනවා. So just be careful. Okay. So let me take this log table to the whiteboard. 157 නේද? Okay. Okay. Go to your log table. Go to the logarithms කියන page එකට යන්න. Let me put this to the whiteboard. Logarithms කියන page එකට යන්න. Yeah. Now here what we want is log of 157. මුලින්ම ඔයා බලනවා කොතනද decimal point එක තියෙන්නේ. හැමලෙම ළමයි හරිනම් the place where the default position of the decimal place is මෙන්න මෙතන. කියන්නේ හරියටම decimal point එකට කලින් එක number එකක් තියෙනවා නම් එතන තමයි default position එක. දැන් මෙතන බලන්න මෙතන තමයි decimal point එක තියෙන්නේ. යාට ඉස්සරහ එක number එකක් තියෙනවා. So it's already in the default position. Here default position එක නෙවෙයි තියෙන්නේ. මෙතන decimal point එක තියෙන්නේ. 157 means at the end only the decimal point is there. But it's supposed to be here. Where there is only one number before the decimal point. බලන්න එතකොට දැන් තියෙන්නේ මෙතන හැබැයි තියෙන්න ඕනේ මෙතන. ඒ කියන්නේ කොච්චර decimal points ගානක් පිටිපස්සට ගිහිල්ලාද? 1 2. From the default position here the decimal place has moved 2 points back. එතන එහෙනම් මෙතනට මම 2 point කියලා තමයි දාන්නේ. මේ 2 point කියන එක අපි decide we call this a characteristic if you remember. Characteristic එක එන්නේ decimal point එක තියෙන තැන. Okay, if it was 15.7 default තැන එකයි පස්සට ගිහලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් අපි පටන් ගන්නේ 1 point කියලා දාලා. If it was 1.57 default position එකේ තමයි already තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් ඒව move කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. අපි පටන් ගන්නේ 0 point කියලා දාලා. Right? But here it's 157. So default position එකේ නම් දෙකක් පස්සට ගිහිලා. That's why I put 2 point. Now let's read the log table. 157 means 157. Go to the log table. මුලින්ම මම බලන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන මුලින්ම තියෙන column එක. මේ corner එකේ තියෙන column එක. So what I want to read is 157 no. ඒ read කරන එකේ මම first numbers දෙක මුලින් ගන්නවා. The first two numbers I read from this vertical column. එක pages දෙකක තියෙනවා first page එකේ 10 to 54. then ඊළඟ page එකේ ඉතුරු ටික. Right, 55 to 99. So here in the first two numbers I have 15. So මම බලනවා 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here we have 15. Okay. ඊළඟට third number එක මම read කරන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන උඩින්. මෙන්න මෙතන උඩ තියෙන්නේ here. Okay. So third number is 7 no. So 7 is here. So ඒ දෙන්නටම parallel ඉන්න number එක මොකක්ද? ඒ දෙන්නටම ඉන්න number එක is 1959. Then that is the number. So I will put 1959. එහෙනම් logarithm of 157 is 2.1959. Is that clear to you, ළමයි? Give me a thumbs up. Fast. If you didn't understand, let me know. Metna, Lisaja? All good? Okay, great. Then logarithm of 6.28. දැන් මෙයාගේ බලන්න decimal point එකට ඉස්සරහ එක number එකක් තියෙනවා value එකක් තියෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ we don't have to move the decimal point. We start with 0 point. Then we look at the numbers. 6 to 8. Decimal point එක අමතක කරලා now let's look at the numbers. 6 to 8. Let's go to the 6 to 8 now. First two numbers I have to read from the vertical column. Vertical column එකේ බලන්න 54. Then 6 to 9 එහෙනම් I have to take the next page. Let me quickly get the next page. Okay. Next page එකේ 6 2 මෙන්න මෙතන තියෙනවා 6 2. Okay, I found 6 2. And what's the third number that is there? 8. 8 mama read කරන්න මේ උඩින්නේ 1 2 3 4 blah blah blah. Here we have 8. So ඒ දෙන්නටම ඉන්න number එක මොකද්ද common? Let's see. That is 7980. And now I go back to my question. 7980. Is this clear, ළමයි? Give me a thumbs up fast if it's clear. If not, let me know. I will explain again. Sahir and Lisa Jo? All right, great. Now it's just subtraction. Let's quickly do. 9 වලින් 0 අඩු කරාම 9. 5 minus 8 බෑ. 15 minus 8 කියන්නේ 7. So මෙතන එකක් ගත්තාම there's only 8 here. 8 minus 9 බෑ. So 18 minus 9 කියන්නේ 9. So මෙතන 1 9 කරාම there's only 0. 0 ගෙන් 7 subtract කරන්න බෑ. කියන්නේ 10 ගෙන් 7 subtract කරාම it's 3. Then here 2 නෑ 1. 1 ගෙන් 0 subtract කරාම it's 1. So we get 1.3979. Okay. So this is the subtraction, right? Then what we do is, this is LGR2. So we have to find R squared. R2, no, sorry, R squared. So we have to find antilog. Antilog of 1.3979. Now let's see how to find antilog. මුලින්ම antilog read කරද්දී ඔයා මුලින්ම then if you take a logarithmic value, this part we call it characteristic. This part we call it mantissa. Okay. So we first only look at the mantissa. 3979. Then I go to my log table. මම එළිය erase කරන්නම්. Okay. Log table එකේ දැන් මම අර දෙපැත්තින් ඉන්නේ මැද ඉන්න numbers ටික තමයි බලන්නේ. I check if there is what was it? What was the number again? 3979. So balamu 3820, 3838. 3909. 3979 ne අපිට ඕනේ 3962 3979 අපිට කෙලින්ම 3979 තියෙනවා 3979 වලට corresponding මෙතන තියෙන්නේ 25 මෙතන තියෙන්නේ 0 right so that's the question okay, 25 and 0 okay 1 point කියලා කියන්නේ default තනින් එකක් පස්සට ගිහිල්ලා so this is the default position එතන එකක් පස්සට ගිහිල්ලා so that means your answer is 25 අසවරෝණ මේ 0 එක අයින් කරලා දාන්න පුළුවන් වැඩක් නැහැනේ so r squared is 25 is this clear ළමයි Lisaja Sahiru okay then we have to find r බලන්න now let's go to the question r squared තමයි log table එකෙන් හොයලා ඊට පස්සේ තමයි r හොයන්නේ now r squared 25 no so then r final AC r is 25 square root that means r is 5 centimeters okay that is how we get this okay I will tell you how marks are given fourth question okay Roman number 1 for the working for the calculation 1 mark for getting the answer 1 mark Roman number 2 එකේ මෙන්න Roman number 2 එකේ මේ 1884 කියන number එක කොහේ හරි අරන් තියෙනවා වෙනම අරන් තියෙනවා නම් හරි මෙතන අරන් තියෙනවා නම් හරි ඒකට 1 mark okay then for getting 150 okay so volume of a cone එක්කෝ වෙන තැනක 157 කියලා කෙලින්ම අරන් තියෙනවා නම් නැත්නම් මෙතන simplification එකේ 157 අරන් තියෙනවා you get 1 mark right so it's actually like මෙහෙමයි දැන් සමහරවිට marking scheme එකක විදිහට තිබ්බට people students are writing in different ways right ඒ කියන්නේ එක විදිහට කරන්න පුළුවන් but as long as the final answer is right and the calculation is also right they give the marks right so here මේ cone එකේ volume එකට තමයි 1 mark 157 නැතුව මෙතනට දාන්න 1 mark right so according to how you did it you will get the marks then for this calculation coming to 157 divided by 6.28 කියන calculation එකට 1 mark then for then we come to the log වල මේකෙන් මේක subtract කරනවා කියන එක ආවට 1 mark and then for getting the values for reading these two values and getting the two values 1 mark for getting 1.3979 1 mark for getting r squared is 25 1 mark and r is 5 centimeters 1 mark 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 okay now tell me how many marks you got out of 10 yes Lamai okay Sahiru Lisaja okay Lisaja okay all right so I think you got a good understanding and also we revised logarithms a little bit so little bit නේ අපි අත reading part එකට ටිකක් revise කරා so that's good let's move on to the next question so fourth එක අපි කරා so you can mark the fourth one simultaneous equations did we do yeah formula එක අපි කරේ නෑනේ it's a very short lesson but we didn't do it yet okay it's all right go to the fifth question ඒ formula part එක හරියම චූටි part එකක් ඒකට එච්චර time එකක් ලොකුවට යන්නේ නැහැ Go to the fifth question. I want you to do the A part. Yeah. ඒක කරමු. මම මේකට 13 minutes දෙනවා. මොකද formula part එකට සාමාන්‍ය 1 minute වගේ යන්නේ. It's a very short part. This is the part that takes quite a bit of time. Okay? So I will start the timer. Okay, your time starts now. Quickly do it. Make it fast. Okay, now my time is up. Did you all finish? Or do you all need more time? Researcher? Okay. So, a hall is decorated with white lotus flowers and red lotus flowers. 3 times the number of white lotus flowers used for this is 100 more than the number of red lotus flowers. Each white lotus flower is 12 rupees and each red lotus flower is 11 rupees. The cost of the lotus flowers used for the decoration is 1600 rupees. Take the number of white lotus flowers as X and red lotus flowers as Y. Okay. So white lotus flowers X, red lotus flowers Y කියලා හිතලා we will construct the two simultaneous equations. Okay. A hall is decorated with blah 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 3 times the number of white lotus flowers. 3 times the number of white lotus flowers. White lotus flowers X ne, 3x. Is 100 more than the number of red lotus flowers? Make a red lotus flowers වලට වඩා 100ක් වැඩි. So red lotus flowers y නේ. Y වලට වඩා 100ක් වැඩි කියන්නේ y plus 100. So this is one of the equations, right? So here we can further, I mean, we can, arrange this in the form of simultaneous equations where 3x, this y, when you bring it to this side, it becomes minus y equals 100. This is one of our equations. Then each white lotus flower is 12 rupees. If a white lotus, there are x number of flowers. එකක් 12 කියන්නේ ඔක්කොම cost එක යනවා white lotus වලට 12x. එක red lotus එකක් 11 rupees. There are y red lotus. So 11 times y is 11y. That's the cost for red lotus flowers. So total එදක add කරාම would be 1,600 rupees. So this is my second equation. Okay, so I have my first equation, I have my second equation. Now I have to, so ekana ape first Roman number ekane we have to construct the simultaneous equations. My Roman number 2. Solve the pair of simultaneous equations and find separately the number of white lotus flowers and the number of red lotus flowers. Then we simplify karan tiya. So first we know what we check is whether there are common elements. Metan 3x, metan 12x, they are not common. So 3x, 12x කරන්න ඔයාට මේ equation එක 4 වලින් multiply කරන්න ඔයාට ඒ දෙක common කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් here this is y, this is 11y. If I multiply this equation by 11, I get 11y and මෙතනත් 11y, then that would also be a common element. So ඔයා කැමති විදිහට කරන්න පුළුවන්. I will take 11y එක කරමුනේ. So first equation I will multiply by 11. I will get 11 times 3 is 33x. 11 times y is 11y. 11 times 100 is 1100. And I will label this as my third equation. So I have to consider my second equation and the third equation. So the common element එකක් තියෙනවා, that is all good. Now we look at the sign in front of the common element. So here there is plus sign, here there is minus sign. If this මුලින්ම common element එක හදාගත්තා. So sign in front of the common element, if they are same sign, we subtract the equations. If they are different signs, we add. So here this is plus minus different signs. So we add the two equations. Equation 2 plus equation 3. So equation 2, I have 12x here and 11y. 12x plus 11y. And equation 3 එකේ තියෙනවා 33x plus 11y. Sorry, 33x minus 11y. Equation 2 එකේ මේ පැත්ත තියෙනවා 1600. මේ පැත්ත තියෙනවා 1100. Sorry, මේ third equation එකේ තියෙනවා. So plus 11y minus 11y cancel වෙනවා. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. So we get 45x. Here 0, 0, 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Divide both sides by 45. So we get 1 second, sorry. So 3 times 15 is 45. 3 times 7 is 21. Then අපිට 5 වලින් divide කරන්න කලින් 15 වලින්ම ගන්න පුළුවන් නේ. Give me 1 second ළමයි. So we divide 700 by 15. Okay, I have done the addition wrong, no? My goodness. ඒක තමයි නැත්නම් කෙලින්ම අපිට 9 වලින් ඩිවයිඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. 1600 plus 1100 is 2700. Sorry. Then divide කරන එක ලේසි. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 3 is 27. 300 divided by 5. 5 times 6 is 30. So we get 60. X is 60. Is this clear, Lama? Did you all get this answer? Sahiru, Lisachu, did you all get this? Okay. So then from any of these 1, 2, 3 equations, තුනක් තියෙනවා කැමති equation එකක් අරන් x substitute කරනවා. So obviously the first equation is the simplest one, so I will take that. Substituting in 1. Right, again equation 1. So equation 1 එකේ තියෙන්නේ 3x minus y equals 100. So x is 60. So 3 times 6 is 180. May 100 may patragena minus 100 whenever. This y, when I take it to this, here it's minus now. When I take it to this side, it becomes plus. So 180 minus 100 means 80. So y would be equal to 80. X is 100 and y is 80. You don't stop here. Simultaneous equation solve karadi metani navatinne. What is x? X is the number of white lotus flowers. Then you have to write number of white lotus flowers is x so that is 60. Number of red lotus flowers only we took as y, and that is 80. Many misstatements they can't think that's very, very important. Is that clear, Lama? Any questions? Lisa and Sahiru? All right. Let's move on to Roman number 3. Show that the difference between the amount spent on red lotus flowers and the amount spent on white lotus flowers is more than 150 rupees. Okay. We know white lotus flowers, one is 12 rupees, one red lotus flower is 11 rupees. So, amount spent, stepping on difference equals amount spent on red lotus flower, white lotus flowers minus amount spent on red lotus flowers. Step again. Difference equals amount spent on white lotus minus amount spent on red lotus, right? So one white lotus flower was 12 rupees. Yeah. And how many white lotus flowers do we have? 60. Price of a red lotus flower is 11. And how many red lotus do we have? 80. Because y is 80. So 6 times 12 is 72, 720 minus this is red, white. So if this is a little troublesome, you can find them separately and then later do the subtraction. Okay. So red lotus 11 and we have 80 red lotus. One white lotus flower is 12 and we have 60 white lotus flowers. So here we get 880 minus here we get 720. What they're asking us to prove is difference is 150 rupees, more than 150 rupees. We'll see. So we get 160. So then we have to write 160 is greater than 150. That is what they want you to show. So we can say නිකං අරක විතරක් ලිව්වත් කියන්නේ 160 is greater than 150 කියලා විතරක් ලිව්වත් ඇති. Or you can also write a sentence. Difference is more than 100 rupees. Is this clear to all of you? Researcher Sahiru? Sahiru, all good? Okay, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. I will show you how marks are given. Ekka simultaneous equation are constructed at 1 mark. May simultaneous equation are constructed at 1 mark. May 1 ekai patlawa ganna epa. And then for this working 1 mark, for getting x equals 61 mark. Then here for the working 1 mark, for getting y equals 81 mark. At the end, I told you we have to write this step. May step එක ලියනකොට 1 mark එකක් හම්බ වෙනවා. Because xy නෙමෙයි අපි හොයන්න ඕනේ number of white lotus flowers and number of red lotus flowers. So once you find x and y, you have to define what they are. Then මෙතන for finding the difference, මේ මුළු ඔක්කොටම you get 1 mark. The whole thing, that means including this step. May step එකත් included. 1 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8, how many marks did you get? Okay, Lisaja. Okay, Metna. Sahiru? Sahiru, can you hear me? I think he must have. Power went out. Right. Okay. Were you able to do the correction? Okay. All right. මේක ළමයි අන්තිමට තියෙන formula question එක විතරක් මම explain කරන්නම්. Although we have not done it, it's not that difficult. So I will just do the discussion part of it, right? Because ආයමත් මේ චූටි part එකට මේ question එකට අපිට question එකට අපි එයිද කියලා sure නැහැ, and we might forget. That's why. ඒකේ තියන්නේ make h the subject of the following formula. So formula is u equals square root of 2gh. දැන් අපි h ව තමයි subject කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් මේ equation එක ගත්තොත් මේ side එකේ u විතරක් ඉන්නවා, මේ side එකේ set එකක්ම තියෙනවා. So in this formula u is the subject. මේ left side එකේ තනියෙන් ඉන්න කෙනා තමයි subject එක කියලා කියන්නේ. So here u is the subject. I want to make h the subject. So ඔක්කොටම කලින් මම දෙන්නගේ පැති දෙක මාරු කරනවා. 2gh I bring to, because h is on this side now and u මම මේ side එකේ තියෙනවා. මුලින්ම මම කරන්නේ h ඈතම ඉන්න කෙනාව තමයි මුලින්ම අයින් කරන්නේ. right? මුලින්ම ළඟම ඉන්න කට්ටිය වයින් කරන්නේ, මුලින්ම ඈතම ඉන්න කෙනාව වයින් කර කර එහෙම තමයි එන්නේ. So h ට ඈතින්ම තියෙන්නේ මේ square root sign එක. So I have to remove that. To remove that, what I do is I put a square. Because you know addition will opposite subtraction, plus and minus. Multiplication will opposite division. එතකොට logarithm will opposite anti-logarithm. ඒ වගේ square root will opposite square and square will opposite square root. So if I want to remove this square root sign, I have to put a square. When I put a square to this side, I have to put the same square to this side. Right? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔක තව විදිහකට you can think, may square root sign එක, it's moving to the other side. When it is moving to the other side, it's moving as a square. I plus තියෙන කට්ටිය අනිත් පැත්තට යනකොට minus වෙනවනේ. Multiplication තියෙන කට්ටිය අනිත් පැත්තට යනකොට division වෙනවා. Just like that, square root sign එක අනිත් පැත්තට යනකොට square වෙනවා. Now කවුද h ට ළඟින් ඈතින් ඉන්නේ? 2 ඉන්නවා, g ඉන්නවා. They are both multiplied now. So ඒ කියන්නේ දෙන්නම එකට මට අයින් කරන්න පුළුවන්. So 2 and g මම අනිත් පැත්තට ගෙනියනවා. Then they become, here they are multiplied, on the other side they become division. So this is, here h is a subject. Right? H equals u squared divided by 2g. It's actually pretty easy, pretty simple. එකතු කරලා write down, you can ලියා ගන්න. And when we're doing the lesson, it will be clearer. But did you understand this part? Others? Researcher? All right. Okay, I will give you a minute to write the formula part, and if you have any recorrections, make it fast. 1 minute. Huh? I'll give you a few more seconds. Then let's do the sixth one. Okay, Lamai. Let's move on to the sixth question. Now, fifth karakila mark karaganda. Now, sixth one is quadratic equation. Okay, Sahiru, no worries. Sixth one is again quadratic equations. Okay. I will set a timer for 13 minutes. And quickly do. Quickly do. Mama, did you all finish? Were you able to finish or did you need more time? Okay, Lisa. All right. So what we'll do is that we'll discuss this question the next day along with the homework that I'm giving you. Can you all mark my homework tika? Uh, same paper 2020 එකේ paper 2 නේ අපි දැන් කරන්නේ. Paper 2 එකේම we did the sixth question, right? Do the seventh question. This is arithmetic progression, so that shouldn't that's a little tricky, but like amaru naha arithmetic progressions එක එච්චර අමාරු නැහැ. And also do the 11th question. And 2021, go to the 2021 paper. AK කරමු 2021 එකේ paper 1 එකේ do the first question and the second question. Is it clear, the homework part? Mark කරගත්තද ළමයි? Lisa, did you mark? So ළමයි, this Thursday class I will let you know. The Monday නේ මං හෙට වගේ හරියටම කියනනම් Thursday evening ද නැත්නම් Thursday morning අපිට Thursday or Friday morning අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා, because it's holidays anyways. So if I let you know tomorrow, I think that would be enough for you, right? And අපි ඒ විදිහට කරමු. මොකද vacation එක ආපු හින්දා අපි එකේ maximum advantage එක ගමු to cover up the lessons that we couldn't cover up yet. Okay. So with that being said, we'll wrap up today's class and let's see each other the next class we have. And okay, good night, Lamai. See you next day.